Okay, the last chair on our series here is the Herman Miller lounge chair. Again, this was designed back in 1956, but it still has a very classic shape, very comfortable. But you can tell it's made in several pieces. This is called an ottoman. This is obviously for your legs. But we're also going to look at the fact that the perspective has changed now. We're looking down more on top of the chair and the product than at the side like we were before. So we're going to change our view, or how we basically change the perspective, how we look at this, okay? So in other words, what I'm talking about is you've got your horizon line, right? And up till now, we've been drawing our cube pretty much like this, right? With this idea that these lines converge on this horizon up here, okay? Now, when we drop this down, or our view drops, or the horizon goes up, then these lines become much more extreme like this. So now our cube is looking more like this because we're looking down on it. See that? So as we go down this way, basically you're looking down on top of the cube, okay? And this is basically how we're going to draw this last chair. Is our cubes to draw the chair are all going to be stacked in such a way that we're looking down on them like this, okay? So when we look at, we'll start this way with the chair base. The other thing we're going to get a chance to do here in this sketch is also, here's our ottoman out here. Again, these lines are all converging back on some line, okay? Here's our seat back. And there's the top of the seat itself. So you can see these lines all converge at some point on an imaginary horizon line, okay? Then we can draw, again, back to our cube idea. Here's our cube here, here's the cube here. This goes up this way, okay? So we got this nice flow. See that? This nice flow of these parts. The other thing we're going to get a chance to look at is see these tufts in this idea. This is if they tuck these buttons in, creates a very soft, pillowy kind of effect. And then we're going to actually look at how to make a soft looking shapes. These are nice, big, soft shapes, okay? So we'll start, again, let's start with the seat base here. Also, if you look at the, it's a combination, excuse me, of all the materials that Charles and Raham have come to know and come to trust and come to use. Here's the wood paneling, okay? Here's their aluminum piece down here, okay? Of course, now they're bringing in more of a very pillowy, soft leather kind of look, leather material. So this is like an accumulation of all their expertise, and all the things they've learned about furniture are basically brought into this one lounge chair, okay? So this is our pillowy shape, and we've got these two little buttons here, and we can actually draw these sections out like this. See that? And so it looks like it has a much more softer shape to it. And again, we're still drawing very light. On this side, we have the wood. It's up in here. That's going to be for the armrest. Okay. So that's our basic, very soft, pillowy kind of shape. Okay, again, very light pin, okay? Now in the center of this, underneath it, about here, that's where we're going to see the actual stand itself, or the chair base, or stand, I should say, I guess. And these spokes will come out. Okay, we'll just draw these out very lightly. Get this. Bring these out to here. So it looks, again, kind of want these out in here someplace. Oh, maybe move this out actually over here a little bit more. That's the nice thing about it. When you draw something light, you can go back over it with a darker one And nobody will notice that you basically made a change in your drawing. So if you work very light, then what changes you make, nobody's going to notice. And that's the beauty of an industrial design type sketch. Okay, it's actually sort of an in-progress design. Okay, so we've got these. So we're sort of building this thing. Here's our armrest. Comes up like this. And the way they've got this design, this actually attaches. This is actually what the other part attaches to. The seat base itself. This will come around here like this. There's our other. Again, we're drawing very light. We're just sort of drawing in everything. This has got some posts up here. We've got this piece. You see the consistency in design elements? They've got their two buttons. It's all in the same location as you go down this surface. Again, these have that same quality of a soft looking shape. A little piece of wood behind there. I need to draw a little bit darker as we go back down. Got these nice little tufts that come out of here like this. Show the form. This is sort of almost a square-looking shape, or rectangle, I should say. This attaches here. I bring these lines across so I can make sure they attach at the right point. There we go. So this actually goes back here a little further. And you can darken in just a little bit underneath it as we sort of get the shape as correct as we can. Feel free to move your hand around, obviously, and even the drawing itself. There we go, that's pretty good. I think we've got our seat, the lounge itself, and now we're looking for what's called the ottoman. That's going to sit over here. Let me kind of break it up. It moves like this. Let's see if I can keep this on the paper here. There we go. Yeah, I was able to keep it on the paper, just barely. That's one of the reasons why I like drawing in pen, because if I make mistakes, I can always just draw it over again. But you see how I drew the spoke in, but I kind of went through that? Doesn't matter, because it's a sketch where you're designing products where you're designing them as you're going along, in a sense. There we go. So we got this nice pillowy, soft kind of look to it. Okay. Yeah, I think we've got the drawing. Again, it's still based on this idea that the horizon line the horizon line is what we're looking at. So we're standing here, let's say, right? And this is our eye. So our eye is actually looking at, standing here, and we're now looking down on top of this product, this surface. So everything is going to be looking as if it's, the sides will be very foreshortened, as we say, but you're looking down on top of it. So it gives you a very unique, very cool product-y look in terms of just, how to draw something. So we got our drawing, and then we can start putting in, again, remember, we've got the light source coming in probably from our right. So this will be lit up here. You can tell even from the drawing. The inside here will have a shadow to it. Okay. And again, you always want your cross hatches are always decide which way you want them to go. You can put a little cross hatch on the outside. Don't try and actually, paint the thing in with your pen, but just let it sort of just hit some of the high contrast areas, like where the shadows would be. You can then float your pen around a little bit, just make them kind of like nice and soft looking pieces. This side would have a shadow to it, but not too harsh because it's actually a light wood. We have a little bit of a shadow here in the front. And, again, make these things nice and soft looking. We've got the spokes down here for the seat bases are going to be black, so we can just actually a little more contrast, sketching those just a little bit. It stops there, even though it probably goes underneath the seat in perspective, but we'll just stop there. I always like to draw my reflections, and like this is the light. I just sort of draw the big, that's the light area, and we might even draw a little bit of a dark out here, just a little bit. And inside here you have a little bit of a shadow, because that part is, it's tucking under. So here's what's really happening with that material. You've got a button like this. It's being drawn in to the seat. Foam, here's the foam, and what happens is that now becomes this nice soft shape. See that? So this button pulls this shape down. It used to be like this, and it pulls it down like that, and these are just buttons. And then usually attached, there's usually a frame on the bottom of the foam. They say this is all foam in here, soft foam, and then you wrap it with a piece of leather like this, comes around, goes under the button, and it's usually attached some way like this. So that's the section. So the section through here is this. You've got this foam, nice soft foam. You pull the button down, and now you've got these nice, soft, pillowy sort of shapes. When you start looking at product design from the standpoint of manufacturing, it becomes very interesting. If you look out and look at your sofa, you look at the things around you, you start to see how things are made. And on this type of design, I've noticed they pull it down very soft through here. Sometimes you might even have a sew line where you brought the material together like this, and you sew this together, and you have this nice little detail like that. Sometimes you actually take the leather and you sew it here first, and then you wrap this part back, and you put another sew through here, or a sew line. Okay, so if you look at how things are made, it's very intriguing, really is. Okay, because once you learn how things are made, then you can actually design them for yourself, and that'd be my challenge. Now we've gone through a series of chairs, some product design, showed you how to basically show this in different directions in terms of the perspective. Now I challenge you, this is our last class, and I think we take a break right now. So my challenge would be to go ahead and actually design your own chair and see what you come up with, okay? Again, it's always fun working with you, and please feel free to send me some of your drawings so I can take a look at them. And take care, and hope your family and you are doing well. Okay, take care.